Veterans, you may be on TDIU, and today I'm going to be talking about substantially gainful employment. I'm going to be explaining it and going over everything that you need to know, even putting out myths and fires about people and veterans that are at 100% and asking if there's any means test. What is marginal employment? What is substantially gainful employment? And we are going to be getting into that and breaking that down. So, what does substantially gainful employment really mean for your VA disability? Okay. Maybe this applies to you, maybe it does not. But if it does, all right, a lot of veterans want to know, can I work? Can veterans work while receiving 100% VA disability or TDIU, temporary disability, individual unemployability, without losing benefits? Okay. In this episode, I'm going to break down the VA's legal definition of substantially gainful employment, the income rules veterans must understand, the difference between 100% schedular and TDIU, what marginal employment actually means, and common mistakes that trigger the VA reviews and benefit reductions. A lot of veterans get in a frenzy or they're very uptight. They're very afraid about, is the VA going to review me? What is permanent in total? Am I permanent here? Can I ever get reduced? And so forth. And let me knock all that out right now. Continue to get care for whatever your service connected for. Continue to stay on top of your treatment. Always be proactive. Always see either your primary care doctor, see the VA, but complain and keep your treatment records always up to date. Okay. But there are mistakes that can trigger VA reviews and benefit reductions, which I will go over as well. Many veterans lose benefits simply because we're just not educated or we're misinformed. And that's why this channel's here. Okay. So this live stream could help protect your rating, your income in your future, whether you look at watching it now, in the future, or later on down the line. Okay. This is not legal advice. This is education, honest and real, that I believe a lot of veterans need. Okay. So if you're rated 100% disabled or receiving TDIU, there is one phrase the VA uses that confuses, scares, and costs veterans their livelihood. Okay. This phrase is substantially gainful employment. Okay. So today I'm breaking down in plain English, no fluff, no VA legal system, just the facts that you need to know to protect your ratings. What is substantially gainful employment? For VA purposes, substantially gainful employment means a job that provides income above the federal poverty level. Okay. And if you look at my TDIU video, my last video I just did live stream 2 days ago, that goes over the 2026 poverty levels for the United States, Alaska, and Hawaii, because cost of living is higher there. So poverty limits and income threshold is different than the other 48 states, okay, within the United States. So a job that provides income above the federal poverty level, employment that is regular, ongoing, and competitive, work that is not sheltered or specially accommodated. Okay. So, in simple terms, if the VA believes you can consistently earn a living wage, they may say you're capable of substantially gainful employment. And that matters not so much for a natural 100% rating, right? But for TDIU, temporary disability, individual unemployability. And I've had some people give me backlash on the fact of me saying, I don't really like TDIU. If you don't need to go for it, don't go for it. If it does apply to you and you can go for it, and you're not looking to get in the rat race of employment in a 9 to 5 in a career, and you're just an older veteran, or you really need it and you just don't feel that you can get to 100% naturally, then apply for TDIU. But just know, I'm not saying that veterans can't get it, but they are moving the goalposts further and further and further for temporary disability, individual unemployability. But if the VA believes that you have a job that provides income above the poverty level, okay, the federal poverty level, I don't know what state you're in, but applying to your state, if you have employment that is regular, ongoing, and competitive, if you have work that is not sheltered or specially accommodated, okay? Meaning like you work for a family business. I explained this in my 2026 TDIU live stream. You can watch that as well. I just did that 2 days ago. But that sheltered environment is a family or friend's business or at your home, and you're able to adapt to your service connected conditions. Maybe you have PTSD that's off the charts or headaches, and you got to leave work. And you could do that when, how, whenever you want to do that, you can leave work because your service connected disabilities are bothering you, or a condition is bothering you enough. And you have your right to kind of come and go, and it's a specially accommodated environment, not compared to your other coworkers. Okay, so that does matter. Okay, so again, if the VA believes you can consistently earn a living wage, they may say you're capable of substantially gainful employment. But that's really, really important if you're on TDIU, not really 100% permanent in total, not naturally at 100% or any other VA disability rating. It's really for TDIU. Okay, TDIU is where the rule really hits, and I want to speak on that for a minute. Okay. TDIU is awarded when you're not rated 100% schedular. So your combined disabilities do not equal 100% to the VA and their crazy calculator. Okay. So your service connected conditions prevent you from maintaining substantially gainful employment. So here's the key. Here's the kicker. If you are on TDIU, you generally cannot earn above the federal poverty level threshold. Okay. I'm going to say that again. If you are on TDIU, you generally cannot earn above the federal poverty threshold. And if you do, I'd be very careful of that. Okay. That income limit changes yearly, but crossing it can trigger a VA review, lead to benefit reduction, or cause complete loss of your TDIU. Okay. So, what about marginal employment as well? Okay, this is where many veterans, I believe, get tripped up. Marginal employment includes income below the poverty level, part time or sporadic odd jobs, sheltered jobs, family business, protected environment, major accommodations. Okay, marginal employment is allowed under TDIU as long as you stay under the poverty level according to what state you live in. Part time or sporadic work, make sure you can prove that, make sure you've got, make sure you ain't making above that poverty level. Sheltered jobs, if it's a family business, and again, you can come and go as you please. If you're in a protected environment, sheltered environment, maybe from home, that's a sheltered, protected environment as well. And if you have major accommodations to adapt to your service connected disabilities, needs, and conditions that you have going on in your life. Okay. Listen, just because you work does not automatically disqualify you, but the type of work and the type of income does matter. Okay. But here's the big distinction that you need to understand, vets. 100% schedular veterans, you're there naturally, can work. Okay. So you're permanent in total, or you're there naturally. You didn't do a 218940 for TDIU. You can work. There is no income cap. There is no means test for every other kind of rating outside of TDIU. And the VA cannot reduce your rating just because you earn money. Okay. So let's knock that myth out the park. Okay. You can make money. There is no income cap. You just have restrictions on TDIU. And that goes back to why I don't like TDIU. I don't want you to be limited on what you can make, especially if you want to move forward in life. You just need to know what you're doing. You don't need to lie to the VA. You need to be honest, but you don't need to minimize. Okay. So if you can work or do something in your house and make a great living, do it. I hope that you can. I don't believe you should be restricted. And guess what? That's why there's really no earning capacity or means test on VA disability benefits. And it wouldn't be fair to veterans like me and you. Okay. So if you're working, the VA may still review whether your medical evidence supports 100% impairment. Okay. They may do that. But listen, that's why I said at the very beginning, continue to get the care that you need. So while income alone won't hurt you, medical consistency matters. That's why you hear me every video, whether you're watching this live stream now or you go back to my other videos, you're going to hear me say consistency matters. Keep up with your treatment. Stay on top of things. The VA doesn't know if you don't tell them. Okay. keep up medical consistency matters. Okay. Common mistakes that veterans make: assuming all work is allowed on TDIU. Okay. You're on TDIU and you're earning above poverty level without understanding consequences. Okay. You're failing to report income changes. You're not documenting accommodations or sheltered employment. You're believing 100 schedular and TDIU follow the same rules. Okay. One misunderstanding can trigger years of appeals. Okay. You need to know how to protect yourself. You need to know which benefit you're rated under. You need to track annual income carefully. You need to document job accommodations. You need to stay consistent with medical treatment. You need to get educated before accepting work. Knowledge is protection, okay? Substantially gainful employment is not about hustle. It's about what the VA believes you can sustain long term. So if you're a veteran navigating 100% disability or TDIU, you owe it to yourself to understand this rule before the VA enforces it on you. Okay. So that's very, very important. So again, substantially gainful employment is a fancy term for a job that pays above the poverty threshold and is competitive. The VA says it suggests a living wage. Okay. For a job to be competitive, it can't be in a protected work environment. In other words, it can't be guaranteed. So, a family business is a good example of what the VA considers a protected work environment. If you're employed by your family's business, you're probably not going to be fired, which means the job isn't competitive. Protected work environment also means that you're treated differently than other employees, but receive the same pay and benefits. So, for example, you might be excused from certain parts of your job requirements, or you might be less productive than other employees without any consequences. You could also be given a pass for certain behavioral issues, veterans. All of these examples describe a protected work environment. Okay, go to my other video, 2026 TDIU income limits, to look at the poverty threshold in your state. Remember, Hawaii and Alaska has a higher poverty threshold due to how crazy expensive it is to live there. Okay, if you can't keep substantially gainful employment because of a service connected disability, you might be eligible for TDIU. However, I'm always going to tell you that would be my last resort. My last option is to apply for TDIU. And that TDIU allows the VA to pay you at the 100% monthly rate, even if you don't have a disability rated at 100. But you must have one disability rated at 60% or higher, or a combined rating of 70% with one disability rated at 40% or higher, or you cannot have been dishonorably discharged. Okay. And then again, marginal employment is any job that doesn't meet the substantial gainful employment definition. Marginal employment doesn't affect your eligibility for TDIU. And in fact, if the VA awards you TDIU, you can still work a marginally gainful job. Just keep it below the poverty threshold. Okay. Substantial gainful employment, you need to know about the VA Form 214192, and that is a request for employment information. The VA will ask for it if you apply for TDIU. And this form, the 214192, gives the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, the information needed to determine if you're no longer able to maintain substantial gainful employment. And the VA uses the information on VA Form 21-8940, which is the application for TDIU benefits, to automatically generate and send VA Form 21-4192, okay, to the employers or the employee you work for during your last year of employment. Okay. So very, very, very important. 214192 is a request the VA wants from your employer or employees. And the 218940 is the application for TDIU benefits if you're not naturally rated at 100. Okay. If you win a TDIU claim, the VA will confirm your employment status on a yearly basis. Okay. They conduct a wages data match through the Social Security Administration, and they do identify if you, the veteran, are receiving TDIU earned wages over the poverty line during the previous year. If so, those veterans will be sent, if that's you, a VA Form 21 4140. And this is an employment questionnaire that determines if you're still unable to maintain substantially gainful employment. The VA doesn't require you to fill out VA Form 2140 once you've received TDIU for 20 years or after you turn 70 years older or more. Okay. If you can't work because of a service connected disability, look, we want to make sure you get the VA compensation you're due by law. Okay. You've earned it. If you need help, reach out. We are here for you. If you need anything, if you have any questions about it, if you need help with what substantially gainful employment is, if you're confused by anything, if you're getting denied, reach out. We are here for you. I can't stress that enough. We are fair out here. We want to make sure that you are getting the help that you need. We want to make sure that you're getting to the right doctors. If you need a Nexus letter or you need a DBQ, it's good. Like, just to give a call to pick my brain, call me. Let me know so I make sure you guys are getting what you need. Okay, we are here. We care about you. Okay, there's a lot of companies and a lot of crap out here. I'll tell you that right now, and a lot of shadiness out here. Be careful of that, okay? I'm not here to sell anybody anything. Watch these videos, get the help that you need, go to your VSO, do things right, legally, ethically, get the help that you need. But if you guys do need something, reach out, veteransclaimservants.com. We are here to explain this stuff more in depth. You can go to our website, fill out the get started form. But that's what substantial gainful employment is. Everything that you need to know, 100% schedular, 100% TDIU, what marginal employment it is. Just be educated on this stuff, vets. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You are your best advocate. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I wanted to hop on here and talk about this very important topic. Also, if you have not watched the TDIU 2026 limits, income limits, for poverty threshold, depending on what state you live in. And hey, stay warm. I'm in Florida, but all the United States is freezing, I guess, but besides Puerto Rico and Hawaii. But it's freezing. Okay. So stay warm, stay bundled up, stay safe. And veterans, keep going. Don't give up. Stay in the fight. You matter. We love you. We care about you. Keep on going. And if you guys want to get into our discipleship and you want to get into our Wednesday morning groups and Bible study and stuff like that, we are here. Reach out. Give me your email address. I'll add you to the list, man. We are ready to go in 2026. We got to help each other, veterans. We got to help each other, okay? Let's keep going. Let's stay in the fight. Don't give up. You matter. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell. Till next time, I am out of here.